Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, Indiana Fever fans? This is your boy Live Wire Sports Media, and I'm here to break down today the Stephanie White press conference that took place around about 3:40 today. And I have several clips that I'm gonna play, and then I'm gonna break down, and then I'm gonna get my closing argument at the end. But there's a lot to take away from this press conference. If you don't think Caitlin Clark, Leah Boston, Lexi Hall was excited, and you see the smile on Caitlin Clark's face, then you have no clue. For all y'all say that, hey, Stephanie White was the wrong person, should have got Lynn done. Caitlin Clark loves Stephanie White. She has the biggest smile on her face. This group is exciting, ready to roll. Kelly Krauskopf, if I'm pronouncing her last name right, she did the introduction to Stephanie White. She talked about how she was the right person, how she was the right fit to bring back to the Indiana Fever. She knows the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White, when she got introduced, she talked about several things. She talked about culture building. She talked about keeping this team fast-paced, implementing defense, building chemistry, building around the core three. And if you haven't listened to her, she talked about Kelsey, Lexi, Leah, and Caitlin. So we already know which four are going to be on this team off the bat. She talked about bringing people around that fits this team perfectly, fits their style of play, and maximize the strength of this team more than what it is before. And she also talked about allowing this team to continue to play freely. She wants them to play fast. She wants them to win games. And the key thing, she talked about winning championships. Make no mistake, don't be surprised if the Indiana Fever ends up winning a championship. So this team already has a head start of knowing where they want to go and where they're trying to be and what they're trying to do. So let me play clip one for you. And this is the introduction of Kelly Krauskopf.
I want to talk first just about why she's here and why she's a perfect choice for us. A couple of things, first of all, she's basketball royalty in the state of Indiana. Let's just start there. But, for me, it was really about bringing a proven leader, somebody who has great experience in tough moments, great experience in playoff moments, in high-pressure situations. I watched her as a player. I watched her as a coach. She knows how to take those moments and never get too high, never get too low. Just a high basketball intellect. The way that she communicates with her players is very impressive. I feel fortunate, really, that we're sitting here and that we have this chance to, at this pivotal time, to really go back to work and finish some unfinished business that we had from 2015 when we left that one hanging. But super happy to be here, and I want to say welcome to her family. Her mother and two sisters are here. Say welcome to our players. We have Leah Boston and Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull here. Very happy to see you guys. And then I want to pass it over to Amber Cox. You guys haven't formally met her, our new COO, GM, and happy to have her on our leadership team. Look forward to getting to work with her. And
if you listen to Kelly, she definitely pointed out a lot of things. The first thing she said, we going to pick up for where we left off in 2016. She felt like they should have won more titles back then. So you hear this thing which they if you think about it, Kelly just alluded to being better than it was like the last time around, providing better leadership the last time around. They all about winning championships. they are trying to put a championship team together. They looking to win a championship next year. They're not looking for 2 to 3 years down the line. They looking to come into 2025 ready to roll to win a championship right off the bat. And they're going to do whatever it takes to make this team successful going into 2025. Now, she did mention Amber Carps, but I didn't get to see a clip of Amber Carps talking and everything, but surely it was to illustrate what Kelly just talked about. Now I'm gonna go into this clip with you about Stephanie White. Again, like I said, Stephanie White was the clear-cut choice for this team. There was no way in God's green earth that you was going to hire somebody else other than her. The experience she has, the relationship she has with this organization, how she played for this organization, she won championships with this organization, she took this organization to the finals of first year coaching. Why can't she do it again? Because now you have better resources, you have players that you could relate to, and guess what? Free agents don't want to come. So check out this next clip, what she talked about.
Ryan and Kelly are just talking about, players and evaluations before we came out here, and building quality depth is going to be important. When you have a core three like we have, surrounding them with players who are going to, fill the roles, certainly, first and foremost, who are going to embrace the roles, secondly, and who give us the best opportunities for success by complementing what they do really, really well. We have seen in this league's history, how difficult it is to win a championship. The margin for error is small. The margin for error is small. When you're building teams, it's not about always just getting the best players. It's about getting the best complement of players who fit well together, who play well with one another, who work to bring the best out in one another. I believe truly in my heart that connected teams are winning teams. And so people who fit, players who fit the culture of the Indiana Fever and where we are and where we're moving towards.
You hear there's a lot of key points in that monologue what she just said. Players that fit the Indiana Fever culture, not just bringing in the best players, but players that adapt to what they're trying to do, the style that they're trying to do. And see, that's very important because we all talk about how, well, the Indiana Fever should bring this person, the Indiana Fever should bring that person, or this person would be good for the Indiana Fever. And that's my whole thing. This team, you might see a similarity to Caitlin's Iowa team and this Indiana Fever team. How they won the title back in 2016 is going to be almost similar how they win the title probably in 2025 and beyond. You have to definitely be ready to exploit your talent. You got your 4 core people, Lexi, Caitlin, Leah, and Kelsey. You want to maximize what they do, and you want to make it easy for them. You want the game to be easy and free moving and free not tight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to be able to play defense, but you want to have them complementing pieces. That's why I say like a sub to sub league will fit. I think Emma Marison, she will fit perfectly. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody probably like a Kia Nurse. She fits that perfectly. You want players that fit that culture perfectly. You don't want somebody that is like a Natasha Howard, that she was built on defense, but she's not really a player that could get you what you want. She has slowed down some. You don't want somebody like a Disney Carrington. You don't want somebody like an Alyssa Smith. And speaking of Alyssa Smith in this, you heard what she said. They want players that fit the Indiana Fever culture. So that means Alyssa Smith is gone. Alyssa Smith is gone. And I will be doing a video on that tomorrow about her being traded because I got word they are seeking to trade Alyssa Smith. Now, let me dive into the next clip what Kelly was talking about. Not Kelly, but Stephanie.
they're an exciting team to watch. I think offensively we can be more creative. I think we can utilize, in more versatility, utilize the certain players in different ways. I'm a forward-thinking, outside-the-box kind of coach. I like to challenge them on a number of levels. They're a high IQ team, so also giving them the freedom to make plays. Like, you want to make plays, you don't run plays. Everybody knows at the end of the day, players win the ball games, right? You got to give them the freedom, the confidence to believe in their abilities to make those plays, but also a little bit of the structure to help them see the different ways that you can attack. I think we've got to get better on the defensive end of the floor. Certainly, we don't have to make leaps and bounds and go from wherever we are to the top, right? But we've got to continue to get better. We've got to make sure on the days that shots aren't falling that we're able to position ourselves to win ball games. And I was never a player who played defense. Dunn can attest to that. But it is a big part of how I coach. And so, yeah, see, I see you agreeing right there. You like that. But it is a big part of how I coach, and it's an important piece of us positioning ourselves to win ball games. And so, we'll attack that as well, and we'll continue to get better on that end of the floor. But more than anything, we want to continue to be exactly what they are: a fun, fast-paced, up-tempo style of play. They're sharing the basketball, making teammates better, building quality depth. I always said this as a coach the last 2 years, but with this team as well, it's a long season. And next season, 44 games. We want to get a quality rotation. We want to put the best players who play well together on the floor in a consistent rotation. And we got to play the long game. Certainly you want to win every game, and you want to compete every game, but playing the long game, positioning yourselves for the playoffs, positioning yourselves to win playoff series is important.
Again, Stephanie White just illustrated what her plan is for this team, is to continue to allow this team still to be fun, fast-paced, up-tempo team, but gradually adding defense to it. Because she said that you don't have to make that much leaps and bounds, but just enough, because we all know defense wins championships. And if this team plays just enough, the right defense, along with their offense, this team could be very exciting, because you got to look at it. You're going to have to deal with the New York Liberty, the Minnesota Lynx. Now, some of them teams probably going to lose some players off their team, so we don't know how they're going to be well constructed going into 2025. Same thing with the Aces, same thing with the Storm. So the Indiana Fever right now is in a prime position to take the lead and probably be a team that be favored to win the championship next year. Yeah, New York just won it, but that doesn't mean they'll be repeated regardless of what they have. But you have to build around your core players to make all of that happen. You don't have to change much, but you have to put quality players around there who's going to commit to play defense, who's going to adapt to Caitlin Clark's style, the fast-paced up-tempo, pushing the ball down the court. Because sometimes, like Stephanie said, when your shots ain't falling, you have to play defense to get back in rhythm of a game, to slow another team down to be able to find your shots. Now, my next clip is going to illustrate how she talks about the core, what she likes about these players.
And Caitlin and Aaliyah and Lexi, a team that was incredibly fun to watch, very tough to game plan against. So I'm glad I'm going to get to work with you guys, work with you ladies, instead of having to think about how to stop you. The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Really excited, really looking forward to this, and can't wait to get started.
And that's it, man. That's Stephanie White. She's excited. You could hear it in her voice. You could see it in her passion. You could hear that she's glad to be back. She wants to win a championship. I think that's something, she wanted as a coach. She assistant coach, but she wants to do it as the guy, the woman, the lead dog. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much to take away from this. But pay attention to what she is saying or what she's putting down. She definitely, we already know that Lexi, Kelsey, Leah, and Caitlin, they're the four. the full court. Everybody else pretty much on this team right now is fair game. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably do another video of the core. That's what I'm going to name these 4 ladies, the core. And then I'm going to illustrate the free agency people that could fit this core. Instead of doing a separate free agent list, I'm going to do a free agent core list, that players that could complement this team. And make no mistake about it, they are going to press hard. And like I just said earlier, they are actively now seeking a trade for Nelissa Smith. They don't want somebody that being disruptive. She already dealt with that over there in Connecticut with DeRhonda Bond, with Alyssa Thomas, with Dejanay Carrington. Why would you think she gonna keep Nelissa Smith here when she dealt with her partner over there in Connecticut? Nelissa Smith is good as gone. There's no more talk about her getting off this team. They already working to get her off the team. I think they have to November the 26th, something like that, to get a trade, and most likely they will get a trade partner for her, because I'm telling you, the top person they really want is Sato Saleh, and Sato wants to come there. Hell, they could probably make a pitch to try to get Sophie Cunningham. We don't know. I mean, that will be another piece. Sophie, fun. She daps. She brings excitement to the team. You know what I'm saying? Why not? She loves Caitlin. She'll get along with Leah. Sophie's personality fits what the Indiana Fever is, especially with the influx of what's going on with Phoenix. So Sophie might say, well, hey, I want to trade me to Indiana. You can always tell your agent that you want to be traded, and this is the place you want to be traded to. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same thing with Marina Mabry. She got out. She wanted to go play for a contender, and they sent her to Connecticut. So all in all, this is a very good press conference. You hear the excitement. You hear the energy. You hear the passion. Look at this. If you can't look at that, these 4 right here, you got a new head coach. You got your top players. You know, Kelsey's overseas right now playing in China. But just think about that. Just think about how exciting this team is. Like I said, you was able to watch Caitlin in the stand smiling. And people think, oh, well, Stephanie is not going to do this. She's a defensive person. Yeah, she alluded to it. She didn't play defense when she was a player, but that's her bread and butter. Not, if you think about it, if you listen to what she said, kind of, it's not like slightly taking a jab at Christy Size, but she was kind of like taking a jab at Christy Size, especially when she said, allowing the players to be themselves, allowing them to still play with fun and excitement, not trying to handcuff them. She's a defense specialist, but she also runs a up-tempo offense. Like I said, if people is not familiar with Stephanie White, go back and look at her coaching style back then when she coached the Fever and Tamika Catchings. That's all you need to see right there. You could watch clips of her in college, how she played. Don't base everything on her from the Connecticut Sun. You know what I'm saying? Her tenure there. She only been there 2 years, but she has a long history of being proven. So that's where I want to illustrate things at. To me, this is a great time. For me, it's a great time in sports. I have my Washington Commanders on top, my Miami Hurricanes on top. Now we about to have the Indiana Fever on top. It's a great time for sports, especially for me. I ain't gonna lie, especially for me. But make no mistake, Stephanie White, Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, they plan on building a winning championship in 2025. They ain't waiting tomorrow. They ain't waiting the next day. They ain't waiting 2-3 years like Linda illustrated early in the season. Talk about, this is a 3 to 5 year plan. No, they ain't looking 3 to 5 years. They looking to impact the league going forward and getting the quality players that help this young squad. And you going to see much more X's and O's, more of a strategist, more of a person to know how the scheme, utilize, especially when we do play Connecticut next year. She will already know how to scheme against them because she coached them. So that's gonna be a high profile game on television next year. But all in all, man, leave your likes and comments below. Continue to support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Every subscriber, every person who comment on there, I do try to get back and make comment on y'all comments and on my videos. But give me your thoughts on Stephanie White. Your excitement, what you took away from her conversation, her press conference, what you think about how Caitlin don't feel. I know how they feel. They excited. They have a coach that cares, that really cares about them, and how they growth could continue from year 2, 3, and beyond. That's all it is. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the coming weeks, months down the line, building this roster. But we know now that the core 4 is Lexi, Caitlin, Leah, and Kelsey. That's the core 4. So now everybody else is fair game. Everybody else is fair game. We're going to see a completely different roster going into 2025. Again, this your boy Livewire Sports Media. Go Fever.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.